Chicago Sky fans, y'all need to be very, very careful in this moment. You need to be very, very careful. It looks like Angel Reese wants out, y'all. Angel Reese seems to be looking for a way out of the dumpster fire that is the Chicago Sky. And I gotta be honest with you, I don't blame her.
Have you ever faced a decision so impossible, so gut-wrenchingly difficult, that it makes you question everything you thought you knew about right and wrong? Imagine a choice where any path you take leads to death, but you must choose. What if the stakes are not just your own life, but the lives of others? This isn't just a thought experiment. It's a terrifying mirror reflecting the core of human morality, and it reveals an uncomfortable truth. Sometimes, there is no easy answer.
And a lot of people are, calling out Angel Reese right now. And I think we are in a world where when it comes to Angel Reese, everything is under a microscope. And I think there are a lot of people that want to look at everything as a negative when it comes to her. Just like at the same time, it's the same thing with all these players. Like everything stars do is going to be under a microscope. So for me anyway, this isn't the most serious thing in the world, but a lot of people were pointing out that Angel Reese did not show up to Cambridge.
Let's start with a classic nightmare scenario. Picture this. You're the driver of a runaway trolley car, hurtling down the tracks at breakneck speed. Ahead, 5 workers are diligently working, oblivious to the impending disaster. You slam the brakes, but nothing happens. Panic sets in. You know with chilling certainty that if you hit those 5, they will all perish. But then, a flicker of desperate hope. To your right, a side track. On it, only one worker. Your steering wheel works. You could turn, killing the 1, but sparing the 5. What's the right thing to do? For many, the answer feels obvious, doesn't it? The vast majority would instinctively turn, believing that sacrificing 1 life to save 5 is the only logical choice. This immediate, almost visceral response points to a powerful underlying principle: the greatest good for the greatest number.
On Angel Reese that I'm sure will trigger a bunch of people.
Let's hear your take.
But I think Angel Reese, and I'm saying this with my chest out, I think she's quit.
Man, as much as I want to disagree with Jason, man, but I gotta admit, I think you're right. And I want to disagree with him so bad.
But now, let's introduce a chilling twist that shatters that neat logic. This time, you're not the driver. You're an onlooker, perched on a bridge overlooking the very same tracks. Again, the runaway trolley, the 5 workers, the inevitable doom. You feel utterly helpless until your eyes fall upon a very heavy individual standing right next to you, leaning over the bridge. If you were to give him a powerful shove, he would fall onto the tracks, directly into the path of the trolley. He would certainly perish, but his body, tragically, would stop the trolley, saving all 5 workers. How many of you would push the fat man? Suddenly, the resounding majority from the first scenario vanishes. Most people recoil from this idea. Why? What fundamentally changed? The numbers are the same, 1 life for 5. Yet something about this act feels monstrously different.
What's up with Angel Reese, man? There's a pattern with this whole injury thing. Okay, first of all, she has a back injury and she's been gone for quite some time. But the report says is day to day. It's been more than a week. Okay, day to day is literally day to day. So, okay, sometimes it feels good, sometimes a little worse. Okay, let's just monitor it. But it should be good enough to play at any moment. That's what day to day is.
This profound hesitation isn't just an anomaly. It's a window into the deep chasm that exists within our moral compass. Consider another set of impossible choices, this time in the hallowed halls of medicine. You're an emergency room doctor, and 6 patients are rushed in after a terrible accident. 5 have sustained moderate injuries that, if treated promptly, would allow them to recover fully. The 6th, however, is severely injured, requiring your undivided attention for hours. If you dedicate yourself to saving the 1, the 5 will certainly perish. If you focus on the 5, the 1 will surely die. Most doctors faced with such a decision would prioritize the 5. It aligns with the logic of maximizing lives saved.
Three of our starters are out, and so yes, it's it's got something to do with that. But like I spoke last game, it's your will and ability to compete. It's something that you always have the ability to do, no matter who's on the roster, no matter who's suiting up. I think that we showed that today. I was very proud, very, very proud of our effort today. Yeah, I mean, it's tough. We had 8 players going into it. One we just signed 7 days ago. So it's tough to get everyone up to speed at the same time. But we came into today with the message of commit and compete. That's been our motto all year.
But what if the situation were even more extreme? Imagine you're a brilliant transplant surgeon. You have 5 patients, each desperately clinging to life, needing a different vital organ: a heart, a lung, a kidney, a liver, a pancreas. There are no donors. Their time is running out. Then it hits you. In the very next room, a healthy, innocent person has come in for a routine checkup and is taking a quiet nap. You could, very quietly, extract all 5 of their organs. That person would die, but you could save your 5 dying patients. Would you do it? The answer, for almost everyone, is a resounding no. This scenario, like the fat man on the bridge, sparks an immediate categorical rejection. The numbers still favor saving more lives, but the act itself feels inherently unspeakably wrong.
18 to 20 turnovers and giving up 25 points off these turnovers.
Yeah, it's never an excuse. The proof is in the details of what's been the difference in our wins and losses, and a lot of it turns into the ability to take care of the ball. And so it's never an excuse. Teams bring pressure. You got to handle the pressure. And so but our locker room is full of professional basketball players. They understand the importance of it. It's just a matter of doing it.
These starkly different reactions unveil 2 powerful, often conflicting frameworks of moral reasoning. The first, where we weigh the outcomes and choose the path that yields the greatest benefit, is called consequentialist moral reasoning. Its most influential form is utilitarianism, championed by the 18th century English philosopher Jeremy Bentham. For Bentham, the right thing to do, the just thing to do, is always to maximize utility, the greatest balance of pleasure over pain, happiness over suffering, for the greatest number. It's a powerful, seemingly logical system. Just add up all the happiness and subtract all the suffering, and choose the option that leaves the most happiness.
But if we're going to be honest, we've seen everybody else that's injured. We've seen their injury. And we have also had updates and heard stuff about their injury. We've seen Caitlin injury. We've seen Nafisa injury. We've seen Breonna Stewart injury. We've seen Ryan Howard injury. We've seen Jordan Canada injury. We've seen Kate Martin last night get injured. We've seen a lot of these injuries. We've seen Eric McDonald. We've seen Sydney Colson. We've seen and we've gotten updates. We didn't see Angel injury. We haven't heard no updates or anything.
But then, those other cases, the fat man and the napping patient, pulled us in a completely different direction. Here, our morality seemed to hinge not on the consequences, but on the nature of the act itself. It felt intrinsically, categorically wrong to push an innocent person to their death, or to take their organs, regardless of how many lives might be saved. This is categorical moral reasoning, which insists there are certain absolute moral duties and rights that must be upheld, consequences be donned. The most profound voice in this school of thought is the 18th century German philosopher Immanuel Kant, whose ideas we'll soon explore. Our journey will force us to confront these 2 titans of philosophy, and others, to understand the foundations of justice itself.
Making her money in stat padding, but she can't handle losing. I should have known. It's the same pattern with her. Last year she had a wrist problem. This year she got a back problem. Next year what it's gonna be? Lord knows what it's gonna be. But all her 5 million followers that badly voted for her to be on the WNBA All-Star team, please don't try to convince us that quitting is the way to go, because it is not. Quitting is unacceptable. She quit on Unrivaled because her team was losing. She quit on Maryland. You hear me? And I'm pretty sure she would have quit on LSU if they wasn't stacked.
But be warned, this journey is not without its perils. To truly engage with these philosophical questions, to confront them as an exercise in self-knowledge, carries significant risks, both personal and political. On a personal level, philosophy can be profoundly unsettling. It works not by giving you new facts, but by taking what you already know, what you take for granted in your everyday life, and making it strange. It forces you to look at familiar situations from an entirely new, often uncomfortable angle. And once the familiar becomes strange, once self-knowledge is gained, it can never be unthought or unknown. It's like a lost innocence. Your perspective will be irrevocably altered.
Angel Reese is the problem in the Chicago Sky. And I've been telling you this since last year. You're not going to win a championship the way that they're playing right now. I don't care if they have Nafisa on the team, Breanna Stewart, or even Aja on the team. If you play your offense through Angel Reese, you're never going to win a championship. Never. Never. Her way of playing already proved that the Chicago Sky will never win that way. They changed coaches. They changed players. They even traded draft picks. 2 years in, there's no improvement. Actually, they got worse.
The political risks are equally profound. While some might promise that studying political philosophy will make you a better, more responsible citizen, the truth is often far more complex. It might, at least initially, make you a worse citizen, or at least a deeply questioning one. Philosophy is a distancing, even debilitating activity, as Socrates discovered centuries ago. His friend Callicles once warned him to abandon his endless arguments and get real, advising him to pursue a good livelihood and reputation instead of wasting time on petty quibbles. Callicles had a point. Philosophy forces us to question conventions, established assumptions, and deeply held beliefs, which can be disruptive to the status quo.
We have to be real. The management has been terrible. Jeff P, horrible. Tyler Marsh has been bad, but like I said, he doesn't have much talent on the team, so we don't know if he can actually coach or not. Now, why is people saying, is Angel Reese trying to force her way out of Chicago? Is she done with this organization already in just her second year? And it is a great question. I don't know if man, I think you got to move somebody. Cardoso, you have to get an influx of talent.
In the face of these daunting risks, there's a common evasion, a comfortable retreat, skepticism. Well, one might say, if Aristotle, Locke, Kant, and Mill haven't definitively solved these questions after centuries of debate, who are we to think we can resolve them in a mere semester? Maybe it's all just a matter of personal opinion, and there's nothing more to say. But this evasion, this surrender to skepticism, is a dangerous one. As Immanuel Kant eloquently wrote, skepticism is merely a resting place for human reason where it can reflect upon its dogmatic wanderings, but it is no dwelling place for permanent settlement. The very fact that these questions have recurred and persisted for millennia suggests that while they may be impossible to resolve once and for all, they are utterly unavoidable. We live some answer to these questions every single day. The aim of this exploration, then, is not to offer definitive answers, but to awaken that restlessness of reason within you, and to see where it might lead.
We got the Chicago Sky general manager, Jeff P, throwing Angel Reese under the bus? Jeff P said he's had enough of missed layups. Oh my God, Jeff P. Jeff P, when you start acting like this?
Now, let's leave the realm of thought experiments and confront a real-life horror that forced a British court to grapple with these very questions. We turn to the chilling case of the Queen versus Dudley and Stevens, a 19th century legal battle that shook the moral foundations of a nation. The year was 1884. A small yacht, the Mignonette, foundered in a brutal storm, 1,300 miles from the Cape of Good Hope. 4 crew members escaped to a small lifeboat. Dudley, the captain, Stevens, the first mate, Brooks, a sailor, and Richard Parker, a 17-year-old cabin boy. An orphan on his first long voyage, Parker had ignored his friend's warnings, seeking to make a man of himself at sea. Fate, however, had a crueler ambition for him.
So Angel Reese, the most toxic player in all of basketball, is out here slapping clipboards out of her coaching staff's hand because she's so mad her team committed a foul in the crunch after she shot 15 free throws this game. This is the lowest of the low disrespect that you can show to your coaching staff. She trying to get y'all locked in, worried about the next play, and you so toxic with your terrible, awful attitude that you slap the clipboard out of her hand.
Adrift in the vast South Atlantic, their meager supplies, 2 cans of preserved turnips and a single turtle they managed to catch, quickly ran out. For 8 agonizing days, they had nothing. No food, no fresh water. Dehydration and starvation began to ravage them. The cabin boy, Richard Parker, already weak from drinking seawater against the others' advice, lay at the bottom of the lifeboat, seemingly on the brink of death. On the 19th day, Captain Dudley, desperate and grim, proposed a lottery. They would draw lots to see who would sacrifice their life to save the rest. Brooks refused the grim suggestion, though his reasons remain ambiguous.
So basically, she made it clear she wanted out, like, that she either asked for a trade or demanded a trade. However, if you guys didn't see it, the end of it was like, obviously it was something like that. Angel Reese, heavy on the PS. Like, it does make it sound like, I mean this makes it sound like she is asking for a trade. Or she's at least implying she wants to be traded. Because at the end of the day, you just never know. You just never know what's in players' minds. But
the next day, no ship appeared on the horizon. With no hope in sight, Dudley the captain made an unthinkable decision. He signaled to Stevens, told Brooks to look away, uttered a prayer, and then, with a penknife, ended the boy Parker's life. For 4 days, the 3 survivors, including Brooks, who eventually partook, fed on the body and blood of the cabin boy. And then, as if by a miracle, they were rescued. Dudley, in his diary, recorded their salvation with staggering euphemism. On the 24th day, as we were having our breakfast, a ship appeared at last. They were taken back to England, where they were promptly arrested and tried for murder. Their defense? Absolute necessity. They argued in essence that it was better for one to perish so that 3 could survive.